right now I had a bit of a anxiety kind of situation. It kind of took over my life for a few days, but I'm picking myself up and starting to get more inspired, so that's what this vlog is today. It's nighttime right now, so it's the end of the day. I don't know what it is with me starting these videos at the end of the day, and I have to talk low because people are sleeping right now. It's 11. Why am I filming? I don't know. I just felt inspired to. I had a bit of a mental breakdown kind of situation. I don't know why. Well, I know why. I can't tell you why. It's just kind of personal stuff. But anyway, nothing to do with SP, nothing to do with my cat, nothing to do with any of that. Just, everything in life in the past reality driving me a bit crazy. And if you have anxiety, you understand how irritating that is, how annoying, embarrassing, and kind of debilitating it can be. But anyway, so yeah, this vlog is gonna be me putting myself back together after anxiety attack, panic attack. People kind of use those words interchangeably, but I've recently learned there's a difference between the two. So after a mental breakdown, anxiety episode, this is the vlog of putting myself back together, getting inspired again, being able to move forward and getting rid of that monster in my head. So that's what this vlog is. I started reading a book on Libby. I will put a picture of it there. It's really interesting. I wanted to make this kind of somewhat of a reading vlog because I love reading. That's one of my favorite things, obviously, because I'm a writer. So yeah, I've been reading this book, and wow, it's got the dark academia vibes. It's got references to Greek mythology. It's got murder and death, which, just my cup of tea. And it's got, it's a mystery kind of thing. I don't know if it seems kind of thriller-ish to me, just like the vibe. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. It's got Secret Society, if you're into that. I don't want to do any spoilers because it's really amazing. It's really good so far, but I've been feeling really inspired and stuff because I've been reading again, so I'm just taking it day by day. And I'm really tired right now, and my body has to rest from all the stress it's been put under. So yeah, I've been reading that book. I'm about 100 pages into it. I read really fast. I just started it today, and I'm already kind of mostly through it. Well, not mostly through it. It's like 500 pages around there, but yeah, I've been trying to put myself back together. But anyway, I'm doing much better now. I had the mental break, not break as in rest, but I had the mental breakdown of, it's not fun. And if you've ever experienced an anxiety, a panic attack type situation, it's not fun. But anyway, so I'm gonna get to bed now, and I will update you on the book later. Yeah, that's what this vlog will be, putting myself back together after my mind glitches out. So yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading, by the way. I'm sorry I haven't. I really did plan on uploading at least a video every other day or every 2 days at least, but my body, I guess, had other plans. So yeah, that's what this vlog is gonna be. I know it's not very fun. It's not manifestation related. But I am gonna have another manifestation vlog coming up, manifestation video coming up later. But for now, I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm gonna be gentle with myself. I'm gonna just stay calm. Try to stay calm. And my birthday's coming up too. It's all around just Anyway, I'll get going. I hope you enjoy this video. There will be brighter energy tomorrow, hopefully, and I won't have to be so low and quiet. But yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and I have skulls on my shirt, really representing those. I mean, it's not Halloween yet, but it's always Halloween for me. I'll get going now. See you in the next clip. Hey guys! So, like I said yesterday, this is the vlog of putting myself back together after a literal mental breakdown. It's great. So I've been reading The Maidens, and I've got over 100 pages into it. I haven't read it much today, but the plot is picking up. I'm excited about what's to come. I didn't really explain what it was because I couldn't really explain too much because I couldn't talk too much yesterday, so I'll explain a bit more. So basically it's about this woman who, I guess she's like kind of middle-aged woman, I guess. And she has, she's like getting over the death of her husband, and she's dealing with the grief of that, the quite literal melancholia of that. And so she's dealing with depression and stuff like that. She's a psychiatrist, so her job is kind of like to like help people in a group and stuff, and so that's what she does. And she's also got this it's not her real daughter, but it's like an adopted daughter kind of situation where who's going to university, and the university is Cambridge. So like, yeah, there's a lot of references to kind of the gods and goddesses. It's really interesting. There's a lot of references to Greek mythology in general, which I love Greek mythology. There's no kind of, it's not like a fantastical type of thing. It's not that. But there is references to the stories of Greek mythology and stuff in this book, and I really like Greek mythology, which is why I was drawn to the book in the first place. Like the cover, I'm gonna be honest. If a cover grabs me, I'll look at it, I'll read the back, and then if it's interesting, I'll read the book. So yeah, anyway, so yeah, she gets a call from her daughter that's in university, and she finds out that her daughter's friend has been killed extremely brutally, literally like murdered. And so she goes to the university. She's like, oh my god, like, well, she's not her daughter, but she basically is her daughter. So it's not like they're not like, you know, actually her literal daughter, but her parents died, and so she took care of her. So since she was a kid. So that's what the situation is. And so this woman goes to the university, and then she starts the whole kind of her mini little investigation type thing that usually happens in like these types of books. So yeah, so far I'm really liking it. It's really interesting. I think, and I'm like grateful that I can read this book, because literally, like, I don't know about you, but when I haven't read for a while, I start thinking that I become illiterate. Even if like, it's just because like, you know, when you have like anxiety or like a mental illness type of thing, your brain doesn't really work at full capacity. So whenever I have like a mental breakdown of sorts, then I can't really speak the way that I write, you know. I can't speak like how I write, and I really wish I could be one of those like really eloquent speakers that could speak wax poetic while also writing wax poetic, but I could just manifest that, but yeah, but anyway. So yeah, I'm enjoying the book. I'm happy that I can read it. I'm happy that reading comprehension is still way up there. Grateful for that. I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for this book. It's really interesting. But anyway, so yeah, I've been reading that, and I also did my makeup. It doesn't look like much, but I did my makeup. And I haven't cried yet today, which is an improvement. It's an improvement. And I've been staying hydrated. I actually already finished a bottle. This is my second one. So I'm gonna drink some, and you should drink some too. Let's do it together. Okay. I've been listening a lot to Blackpink for obvious reasons. I did have a lot of anxiety around my eyeballs, like I was saying before, but I've actually looked it up, and it turns out that anxiety can cause so many problems. Yes, and some of those problems are related to the eyeballs. So it's not like anything is actually happening to your eyeballs. Your brain is just making things happen that aren't really happening. It's very annoying because, you know, the eyes and the brain both work together. So, yeah, like your eyes see, and then your brain makes sense of what you're seeing. And if your brain is out of whack, then you start seeing things out of whack. But anyway, so yeah, I'm having a bit of a crazy moment, and I'm allowed to say that because I've been dealing with this mental illness for way too long. Not even diagnosed, I just know it. And I'm gonna unknow it. And yeah, so it's been fun. I posted a reel. I might also post a TikTok. And I'm putting myself back together. I'm wearing a cute outfit. I've got this shirt. Hold on, wait. Outfit of the day moment. I've got this shirt. I've got these pants. I've got this cardigan. I don't think you can really see it because like it's too yeah, but it's cute. So yeah, I'm getting my energy back. And it's been a bit. But yeah, and also reading this book has really inspired me, and I'm like, I want to really write, but you know, my brain, I gotta take it easy, so I'm just gonna keep reading, because let's escape into another world. Let's escape into somewhere that feels better than this. I mean, not really escaping into another world because it's the same world, but anyway. So yeah, if you like books like that, go check it out. It's really good. I'm reading it on Libby. It's, I'm sure it's available at your local library. If you actually want to buy it, you can go ahead and buy it, but I'm just reading it on Libby because it's just really easy for me to read books I want to read there. And they have audiobooks too. It's an audiobook thing. I've been reading it because I don't think the audiobook is there, but I've been reading it, and it's really good. The way it's written is really well. However, there's a lot of passive voice in it, I've noticed, but I mean, that's a small critique. It's just because I'm a writer, I notice these things more than, I guess, general readers would, but yeah. I've been trying to get rid of a lot of the passive voice in my book as well. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading The Maidens, and then I will update you on the next clip of what's going on. Okay, let's go. I've been reading The Maidens. Oh, boo-boo kitty. Anyway, I've been reading The Maidens, and if you hear people talking, don't worry about it. Just focus on, okay? I'm also having some Greek yogurt because gots to take care of myself. My body needs nutrients, and yeah. So, what do I have to say about The Maidens? I'm loving the storytelling. The narrative voice is very compelling. However, I'm thinking it's just because I'm a writer, so I can pick out these things way easier than an average reader, right? So I'm seeing this book, and in the parts where it kind of becomes a little slower, becomes a little, you know, kind of the parts where you just gotta fill it in with something. You can tell when an author is doing that, when they're filling it in with something random. In those parts, I've noticed there's a lot of passive voice. In those parts, I've noticed there's a lot of kind of less compelling writing. It's not bad. It's not bad. I will say that. It's not bad. And I'm sure most readers can't even tell. I can only tell because I'm a writer, so that's why I can tell. But I'm surprised that all of that passive voice made it past the editors and stuff. Like, wow, I feel like at this point, my book is ready. It brings to mind, like, a book is never going to be perfect. It can just be as much as finished as the author deems it. And a lot of us get to the point where we're like, I'm done looking at this book. I don't want to read it ever again. I don't want to see it ever again. So I'm wondering if maybe the author of this book probably got to that point. Like, I've gone over this book so many times, because I can't imagine that this is the first draft. I really hope not. And in that case, wow, dang, really amazing if that's the first draft. However, there is a lot of, like, passive voice. There's a lot of reusing words, like, she blinked, she looked. There's a lot of using the eyes to explain things, and at a lot of points it's good, but at some points it does become a bit of, like, I think it was Kate's book date. She talked about that in one of her videos. Crutch words. So I noticed that in this book, the author used a lot of crutch words in terms of that. So far is what I've noticed. I'm in the second part of the book. I think there are 5 parts. I'm in the second part right now. And it is apparent to me that there is a lot of, not so much redundancy, but you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell when the author either got bored or just didn't care as much about this particular point in the story. The story is still really good. The sensory detail is still really good. I'm just saying there are little parts that I'm noticing the kind of, I'm not going to say lazy, but for lack of a better word, like lazy-ish writing, which is passive voice in general. But anyway, I know there are instances where you can use passive voice. It doesn't really matter. And for the most part, it doesn't matter that much. I think for me, I'm just noticing it more because I'm a writer, because I'm writing my own book, because I'm an author as well. I'm noticing it more. And obviously, the only thing I've written and actually put out there is my poetry, so obviously that is a more kind of, there's a different way that you would kind of explain that in terms of poetry. It's like painting, you know, it's like art. And writing is art as well, like, you know, novels are art as well, but it's a different kind of medium in terms of like how to, like the difference between a painting and a sculpture, you know what I mean? Like poetry is a painting and writing is a sculpture. Like it really just depends on the individual, the author, and how they feel about it. So, I mean, I guess you're getting, in this, like, reading vlog, you're kind of getting more or less a view on how I see it. I also have a skull here. I've got a skull on my shirt, and I've got Boo Boo Kitty in the background just chilling, being cute. But I really wanted to film this moment because I'm putting myself back together in this vlog, and I'm having some Greek yogurt to do that. I think later I'm going to do some yoga, not after eating this, but a bit later in the day when my body kind of, you know, it's 12:12 right now, a bit later in the day when my body kind of is able to stretch out a bit more, I'm gonna do some yoga. I made an appointment for my cat to the doctor because he hasn't been going through anything terrible. I just want to take him for a checkup to make sure everything's good, because he's my baby and he is everything to me, as you very well know.
I'm putting myself back together before, it's almost my birthday, and on my birthday I'm doing the, as you know, this is probably going to be up, it could be up on my birthday for all I know, or even after that, but I'm going to be doing the poetry reading, so if that's already up, I will link it below because I always have it there if you miss it. Yogurt mukbang. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing the poetry reading on my Instagram of Melancholia if you want to see that. I'm gonna continue reading The Maidens. I don't want to talk too much about it. I know this is a reading vlog, but in case you guys want to read it, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will tell you first off. I will tell you this about the book, about The Maidens. In the first sentence, they say who the killer is. However, it's all based on the suspicions of the main character, who I believe the main character is a bit of an unreliable narrator, that trope, because she's going through grief. Her niece, it's her niece, not her adopted daughter, it's her niece, that's kind of, I forgot that part before when I was talking about it, but her niece is kind of in danger when you think about it because she goes to that school. Her friend was the one who was killed. So coming from the perspective of the main character, she has a suspicion of who the killer is. So I'm not entirely sure if that actually is the killer or if it's a red herring and there's going to be somebody else. But then if it is the killer, then they literally revealed the epic twist. I'm thinking it could be something like Charles Manson, where if that is the case, then people are doing it for him. Or if that is the case, like The Following, you know, like the guy had other people doing things for him while he was in jail. Like, I don't know if any of you have seen that show, but I love Edgar Allan Poe, one of my favorite writers of all time, poets of all time, short story writers of all time. So yeah, The Following was kind of like that. So I'm thinking it might be a little bit like that, where the maidens could be the ones doing it for him. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. I'm a writer, so I can kind of think of how different things, like how it could come together. But I am excited to see the rest. I am really engaged in the story. It's not terrible. I think, I don't even know if I'll rate it. I'm reading it just so that I can, you know, self-care and stuff, so I don't know that I'll rate it, but we'll see how I feel by the end of this vlog, if I rate it or not. But yeah. I will continue eating my protein-rich billions of probiotics, only natural ingredients, allegedly, Greek yogurt with strawberries in it. I will continue I will continue eating this. I will continue reading The Maidens, and I'll let you know in the next clip what's going on.
If you hear people talking, my mom is talking with her sister, my aunts. So, but I had to come on here right now and tell you guys. I just finished reading The Maidens and I'm like, what the fuck? What is this book? Okay. There are things I liked about it. There are a lot of things I liked about it. Some things I didn't like about it. Mostly technical things, mostly things having to do with like the writing style and the choice of how to put together, you know, the narrative. However, just the story itself, it's really good. It's really good. I finished reading The Maidens. This is gonna be a spoilery part because I need to talk about it. What? Okay, so I'm just saying spoiler here in case you haven't read it, if you want to read it. I literally have never even heard of this book. I saw it on Libby because I was looking through books and I felt like reading or listening to audiobook. I read this one. I didn't listen to the audiobook. But what? Okay. So, why am I so mind blown? I'm not really mind blown. It was kind of, I don't know how I feel about it overall. I think I will probably give this one 3 to 4 out of 5, a 3.5, I will say. It's not completely a 4, it's definitely not a 5. It's a 3 to 4. It's a 3.5 out of 5. For reasons, okay. I know, I have a breakout here. It's anxiety. But anyway, so yeah, I finished reading The Maidens and I'm glad I finished reading it before I posted this video so I can add it to the putting myself back together again. But yeah, so I finished reading the book and wow, okay, this is a spoilery part of it. Okay, so spoiler alert, okay. It was the niece that was killing all those girls. It was her. The whole time you're thinking it's the professor, because that's what it opens with. It opens with the professor's the one who done it. It's because that's what the main character is thinking. That's the direction that she's going. And, you know, the niece is someone that she's assuming is like, you know, innocent and throughout the whole thing. And then at the end you realize like, wait, because they've been like showing these letters throughout the story. It's showing like these either diary entries or letters or like some kind of written stuff told from someone's perspective, and you assume because the story is kind of leaning in that direction anyway, but then at the same time it's like I feel like that's too easy, like. But the guy himself is sus, okay, but he's not a killer. The guy is basically like taking advantage of the students, but he's not killing them. He's not the one killing them. The person killing them was the adopted daughter, the niece, the child, the girl that she was taking care of, that she came there for, okay? Like I was talking about earlier, it was her. And the reason she was doing it was because there was a guy, and obviously this dude is dead. It's her dead husband. So he's dead, okay? He not alive. But, like, when, basically what had happened was, when the girl was younger, he took advantage of her, so he, like, you know, molested her or something, really dark stuff, honestly. And then, so, like, when she was a child, and then he came up with this whole entire, like, fake narrative of, like, oh, I love you, blah, 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 and she believed it, and so that's why she was killing people, because she wanted to kill the woman, the mom, not the mom, the aunt, the main character. So it was some elaborate plan to make her come there, to make her go to the university so that she can kill her. It's really hard to explain if you haven't read the book, but whoa. So it was like something out of Lolita. Dude married her because so her dead husband married her so that he can get her money, because he knew that she was going to inherit a bunch of money because she was rich or something from her dad. And her dad never liked him.
And dad knew. The dad knew. I don't think he knew, but he didn't like him. He definitely did not like him. And so yeah, and then once the girl, I guess, her parents died, I don't think he had anything to do with that. He was just planning to take the money from the main character when he married her. And so, like, yeah, and so the daughter, the niece, I guess, and then he, like, manipulated her or whatever, and she became a psycho killer for him because she believed that they were in love. And I'm like, what the heck? This is like something out of Lolita. Like, literally, it feels like Lolita vibes. Like, so it seems like that was the twist. The twist is that it's actually Lolita. Like, what? That's so messed up. That's so messed up. So dude was only with her to get the money, but then I guess he was using the niece as a scapegoat to, like, you know, yeah. But he was dead the entire book. He was dead the entire book. So you can't even suspect him because he's literally dead. They were planning to kill the main character, though. And this entire time she's been, like, mourning him. Oh my god, it's, like, crazy. Okay, so I was not expecting the twist. What do I think of the twist? I feel like it wouldn't make sense for it to be anyone else, really. It only makes sense for it to be the professor. And then if you're trying to make a twist and it's not the professor, then you gotta come up with something. And I guess the easiest way to, I guess, sell the story is to make it the daughter and that she was manipulated. She's talking really loud. I can't hear myself think, which is probably a good thing. So yeah, I don't think it was cheap because it's a really good twist. However, I really don't like it. I don't like that. I think it would have been cool if the husband didn't actually die. If he actually was still alive and he just faked his death and used somebody else's body or something. That kind of would have been a little bit cooler. And then the whole time she's been, like, you know, grieving this guy who's not even dead. That would have been more interesting, in my opinion, if it was like that. Like, he just comes out of nowhere and it's like, oh my god, it was him the whole time. But the fact that it was the daughter, it kind of seemed like the girls that were getting killed was for nothing. Like, it kind of seemed like not even because obviously the professor wasn't killing them, so it's kind of like, and she, like, planted it. The niece had planted everything to make it look like it was the professor. He was still sus because he was still taking advantage of his students, so he's still not a good guy. But he wasn't killing them. So it's just like, if you weren't gonna make it the professor, you did have to make it the husband, the dead husband. Like, why did he not come back in some kind of, and I know that's a little bit cliche, it would be a little bit like, oh my god, what? That would also be kind of out of nowhere, but I think that would be more convincing than it just being the girl killing these girls. Like, what would be the reason for killing all those girls? Like, you know, she made up this whole narrative about the professor and that, and, like, you know, part of it was true. He was like, you know, taking advantage of the students, and it was really sus. He didn't kill them, though, and she made it seem like he did, and so she was the one killing everyone. But the fact that he was so, it's like, I was trying to figure out, why is this dude so sly? Like, he's gotta be the killer. It's just because he's doing these things and you don't know that what he's doing, and then he's paying people to be quiet or whatever, so, you know, it's just like, geez. But anyway, so, yeah, what do I think of the twist at the end? Gosh, I wasn't expecting it, but I also don't really like it because then it's like, and then the way the main character reacted to her niece being the one killing everyone, it's almost like she didn't even really think about, like, this girl was a victim too, when you think about it. Like, yes, she's killing people. It's not okay to kill people, obviously. Like, but she was psychologically, like, destroyed because of her husband and the fact that, and then she, like, kind of, like, doesn't care about her husband. I don't think there was enough really explaining that whole thing and how she went from crying and grieving her husband to hating her husband and then not even being able to imagine him at all, and then, you know, hating, not really hating, but just, like, having some animosity towards the niece. That didn't make sense to me. I don't really think that reads as true, because it seems like she's just a bitter woman, when it's just like she's literally like, I don't know, I have more compassion for the niece because, oh god, because there's a bug that's just flying around here and it's irritating me. But anyway, I think I just have more compassion for the niece because it's like she was literally a child and she was taken advantage of, and it's just like not okay. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I feel about the book. It wasn't terrible. It's 3.5 because those technical writing mistakes, like I can't. It needs, I know I can't, I'm not expecting books nowadays. I'm not expecting books that are written nowadays to have the same like literary greatness as like Jane Austen or Shakespeare or any of that. However, my reading level is that. And so when I read stuff that is meant for an adult audience, because it is meant for an adult audience, and then it's very dumbed down, then I'm like, So, yeah. It was a really good one, though. It was really good. The concept and the idea is really good. I think the twist could have been handled better, because the fact that it was the niece the whole time just killing those girls, I couldn't make it make sense in my head. And I guess maybe she was trying to frame, I guess like in a sense she was trying to frame the guy that was taking advantage of all the students. She was trying to frame him because he wasn't a good guy after all. Like, he was doing that technically, so like he was doing that, so it's kind of like it wouldn't be terrible for him to go to jail for a murder he didn't commit, but at the same time it's just like so I guess she was kind of doing a poetic justice kind of thing, like a vigilante type thing, but then it turned into her wanting to kill her like aunt thing, so that's really weird. So obviously, yeah. So I don't completely disagree with the girl, but obviously killing your aunt, that's stupid. For a guy that literally molested you when you were a child, like that's fucked up. So yeah, that's The Maidens. And it really makes sense, honestly, like the name of it and everything, like wow, it really makes sense. The fact that they went with the Lolita twist, that's like really dark. Yeah, and then I was thinking, wait, did he plan the death of the... But no, I don't think he did. I don't think he planned... He just wanted the money from the woman, the main character. But yeah, so it's like, it's really messed up. It's really messed up. But I don't like the technical writing mistakes, so that's part of why it was down to a 4-star. And then the twist, I didn't entirely like it. I think it could have been done better. I think it would have been cool if the guy came back and wasn't actually dead and was like manipulating from the shadows or something. That would have been interesting, but the fact that he was actually dead and it was actually just the girl doing it was kind of... But I didn't like that much, so that's why it went down to a 3. But I did really like the book overall, so that's why it's a 3.5. So yeah, that is my reading The Maidens, putting myself back together vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm doing much better mentally. I've taken a lot of time for myself. I've taken a lot of time to take care of myself, and I'm glad I did. So yeah, I'm gonna get going now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!